Norman Powell is the newest member of the Miami Heat. A lot of people expected the Heat to tank this year. A lot of people were calling for the Miami Heat to trade Bam Adebayo over the weekend.
That was actually going to be one of my topics of conversation today.
I imagine,
heading into it, Ira had kind of posited on the Sun Sentinel, hey, maybe you trade Bam because they didn't do anything to get any better for him. And so maybe their plan of building around, like you can build around someone, but if you don't build around them, what's the point? And so he kind of posited over the weekend, and then Barry Jackson followed it up and said, you know what? Not the worst idea in the world. And all hell broke loose. But now you've actually, I said it too. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but I have gone from 0 to 60 on this Heat team, in a matter of hours because of Norman Powell. But that's what an important addition I think he is for the Heat, because like we talked about earlier, not only does he add an element that you're missing, but he actually should make Tyler's game better and Andrew Wiggins play more comfortably here than he showed last season. Like, this should have a domino effect. And then you add into the mix that the East is injured and not as good as the West. And you go, okay, you know what? 6 seed for sure on paper. When you take into account Spo being your coach and, all the things, everything has to go right. But I look at it and I go, wow, I mean, 6 seed for sure. And maybe if things really go well, you're a top 4 seed.
Fellas, and I'm not this guy. I'm not the guy that just the poo-poo half, glass half empty guy.
Well, let's not use poo-poo after that segment, okay? And after the segment that's coming up as well.
Appreciate that.
I'm sorry, Solana. Solana started shaking with memories. But so we were on the youth movement. We were speaking of people saying Pat Riley lost it. We get Norman Powell, and now y'all have swung to we have a chance in the East. I'm not ready to go that far, fellas.
I get that. I get that. It's not Kevin Durant and it's not Giannis, but
yes,
you got better and didn't give up anything. No draft picks like that. I mean, it's very rare that you can get markedly better without giving up either draft capital or talented players. It's very rare to get a bona fide starter and not give up a draft pick, a single one, or another starter in return. Like, they did is, I mean, he ain't asleep at the wheel on this one.
No, Norman Powell would start on any NBA team.
Yeah.
That's how I judge it. If you get a guy that can start on any team in the league, you have something.
Think about what the Heat needed to do to get Terry Rozier. They had to give up Kyle Lowry, and I understand it's not Lowry from 2019, but still, I mean, they had to give up Kyle Lowry, and they had to give up a first-round pick for Terry Rozier.
Look what Orlando gave up for Desmond
Bane. Yeah.
Stop bringing up Terry Rozier. I feel like I've given an enema. I can't even stand what we did to get Terry Rozier. He's upset. He better do.
They're on the court next season.
He better do something next season because he was very unimpressive this first season.
When you want the Terry Rozier spin, you let me know because I've done it already. I've created a scenario in my mind where Terry Rozier has a good season next year, an impactful season next year. So you let me know when you guys are ready for them.
All right.
What does he do? Get traded?
Hey, had I outlined for you a week ago, you can get Kevin Durant, but you have to give up Niko Jovic, Khalil Ware, and 2 first-round picks. Or you can have Norman Powell, but all you're giving up is 2 rotation players. What do you take?
Well, and a rotation player too. Kevin Love didn't play at all, so he wasn't even in the rotation. So it's really one tertiary rotation player. It's a great question because I saw you tweet something about Orlando and Desmond Bane, and I know it was a little tongue in cheek, but it happens to be a great question. It's like, okay, there's major star power, but are you willing to go all in, give up a lot to get that unknown of that Kevin Durant edition, or would you rather give up really nothing and bring in Norman Powell and say, now Bam and Tyler and Andrew Wiggins and Khalil Ware and everyone else, do your thing, and this comes together like a team?
Huh?
I wouldn't answer the question. I would not be able to give you a quick answer.
3 options is what you're saying. Stay status quo, you're in the play-in again. You're 9 or 10. Add Norman Powell. I'm kind of with y'all. I believe we're a solid playoff team, 5, 6 seed. You add Kevin Durant to Bam and Tyler, I think we have a chance to win the East.
But you're giving up a lot. And again, I would just submit to you, Kevin Durant couldn't even get to the playoffs last season. So it's not a certainty.
Yes. Yes.
Giannis, certainty. You know what I mean? Giannis, certainty. There's certain guys, certainty. Kevin Durant, man, it's an interesting, and you know how Pat Riley felt about it because he didn't do it.
Yeah. And I always saying Riley I trust. So I don't know why I always backtrack when things don't go right, like the Twitter Heat fans and all, but I wouldn't mind having Kevin. But to your point, what are we giving up? Are we giving up the next 5 years for 2 years? Like, that's the thing that Pat has to do. That's Pat's job to figure out, not mine. But I would love to see a 35 KD running around damn Kaseya Center.
Definitely would have made them more exciting in terms of, being on nationally televised games and eyeballs.
Yeah, no doubt.
Then you get beat by the Cavs 4-1 again.
4-1, you'd be thrilled.
They didn't get one. It was 4-0.
Didn't get one. Are you talking about a point?
They almost got one. They almost got one, Hawk. Almost got one.
Don't let us almost get one.
I think it was a traumatic experience, so I changed it in my mind just not to get swept.
They were very far from one.
That's when they lost by 40. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
40 would have been good. I think it was a lot worse than that. The Marlins would go 1-2 versus the Brewers over the weekend. They begin a 4-game series. They'll play the Reds in Cincinnati. They're out on the road. 7:10 is your first pitch.
All right.
Hey, by the way, speaking of some NBA news, you guys saw that the Indiana Pacers confirmed that Tyrese Halliburton will miss all of next season. They've ruled him out. Their president ruled him out for all of next season.
No.
And Kevin Love, he reacted. It was an interesting reaction to being traded. He tweeted out, "Never thought I'd be a math problem. Welcome to the NBA."
He also did a Instagram post, like a what was from what movie was it? Just watched it. I sent it to you guys.
You did. I didn't.
Oh, it's from Joe Dirt. It's like, he's Joe Dirt's walking away, and he's like, "Are you crying?" He's like, "I'm not crying. I'm not crying." And he's, he's walking away. So obviously, yeah. And he said, all he wrote was "traded," and posted that movie clip.
It's funny that he looks that old and is that old and doesn't understand the business of basketball. His $4 million.
I think he understands it just fine.
But yeah, like your $4 million makes the deal work. Like we don't need you. They don't really need you. To be honest, like they're not worried about having Kevin Love on the team. It's just the money. Like just be happy.
Yeah.
Get
no, that's what he's saying. I never thought I'd be a math problem, but he's saying like I see what I became, which is eye opening. You get to the end of your career and it's like, oh, well, that guy's math fits. Throw him in there.
Yeah, that's what it is. A lot of people get cut and don't get $4 million. Kevin, enjoy yourself, brother.
We'll get a buyout, so.
And
then he'll be able to go wherever he wants. Yeah, and then he'll be able to go wherever he wants.
Come on, man.
I wonder if he genuinely believed. I don't know, like behind the scenes, but I wonder if he genuinely believed he had a home here in Miami. He was kind of fulfilling that UD role almost.
I think he thought he would be part of the Heat organization in some capacity. I don't know if he had designs on continuing to play, but I think he thought he would, be some sort of ambassador, front office, or something, and it didn't work out that way. But I said it last season. You're not playing very much. Look cutesy on the Instagram stuff. Let's throttle it back.
Yeah. The Heat couldn't have loved that during the entire Jimmy Butler
half
saga.
Trolling them, like he was half on Jimmy's side. Like it was, I don't know, odd.
Yeah. Well, at least we got one final IG post after a legendary IG run from Kevin Love.
Yeah.
More Instagram posts than minutes in his final season with the Miami Heat. But part of that 2023 NBA Finals run, never forget.
Yeah.
Inter Miami, they won over the weekend, 4-1. They'll play Wednesday. The FIFA Club World Cup continues mañana. You've got El Fluminense versus Chelsea, semifinal, number 1. And then you've got PSG, Real Madrid, the champions of Europe, against the largest club of Europe, the most popular club, the most winningest club in European history. That is Wednesday, 3 p.m. in the second semifinal.
All right. The
club. The Heat play the Warriors. Final San Francisco Summer League game tomorrow. They went 1-1 over the weekend. They beat the Spurs on Saturday, and then they lost to the Lakers yesterday. Kasparis Yakuchonis, Kaz, the Heat's new first-round pick.
Ooh, do people call him Kaz?
Kaz. That's what.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what. KJ or Kaz.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's what Spo called them on
really?
on like their first FaceTime. What's
back
up, Kaz?
When I was a kid? There was a basketball player named Kazzy Russell.
They call him Kaz
for the Chicago Bulls, but Kaz. Kazzy is that's a. I like that, Kaz.
Hey.
My brother just texted me. Unrelated, but just not the right time.
The natural thing.
Not answering that.
Don't you wish you weren't home when he asked you the enema question?
I was gonna say I went out. My damn internet's terrible. It is. You could be the greatest athlete in the world. There's gonna be a time. Damn Brady to Tampa, Peyton to Denver. Like it's a time where you have to come to the conclusion of like, oh, I'm not what I used to be. Some guys physically, like me physically, I used to be like, damn, I'm starting to get injured every damn year. But I remember the one I use all the time when Jason Taylor, who is he the after Marino, JT would be the best Dolphin ever, Hall of Famer. You argue what like Zach, and then you got to go back to Larry Little and
in
Dwight
the conversation.
Stevenson.
Yeah,
he's in the Mount Rushmore Dolphins ever. When he was when the Jets were going to sign him, we were all in the locker room like, I was like, damn, JT, you about to go to the damn Jets? They offered him like 5 times more money than the Dolphins. And we were all like, oh, never mind, JT, man, go get your bread, bro. But he wasn't appreciated like that anymore. And the Jets JT was not the damn defensive player of the year, JT. So sometimes athletes got to come to that conclusion.
That was Bill Parcells. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was very young when that happened. Wasn't that Bill Parcells coming in like that's the old era? I'm ushering in the new era, and
he told a
he was
story
doing Dancing on the Stars or something.
Yeah, back when I was on the Levitard show, Jason Taylor told a story of Bill Parcells coming in. They were sitting across from each other, and he handed him a folded in half Post-it note, and he said, "That's for next season." And JT said he opened it up and he saw what the offer was. And he was like, and he said Bill Parcells was kind of doing it in a cool, smooth manner. Like, here you go. We got you this for next season, something like that. And JT was like, yeah, no.
If that was after 06 Defensive Player of the Year season, that number would have been way higher.
Yeah, sure.
And you know what I'm saying? So that's, and I'm not trying, I'm just telling stories now. I'm not trying to compare Kevin Love any shape, form, or fashion to Jason Taylor, but it's a tough realization, and I think Kevin Love dealing with it in a funny way. It's a tough realization when you're just another guy. When you used to be that dude, K Love was that dude. What, Minnesota and all that? He was that guy, and now you're not really that guy anymore. You're just a player.
I mean, not really is an overstat. I mean, did he have 100 minutes for the season? I'm not even joking, for the season.
Last year, no.
Yeah,
no, knock. And then for him to think he was going to be UD, that's laughable. If he really thought that, that's laughable.
Not UD, but serve the same role. 15th guy at the end of the bench, veteran. He's done it all. He's seen it all. He's achieved everything you possibly can in basketball. A good mentor for Kel'el Ware, a good person to have around the organization. I could see where Kevin Love fits that bill, and he just kind of thought.
By the way,
he was there.
He would have been that. He would have played that role if this Norman Powell deal didn't come up. He would have been the 15th guy on the roster, and he would have mentored the young guys. That would have been his role.
Fellas, there's only one Udonis Haslem in the history of the NBA. No one else has been kept around as long as him.
I'm not making any comparison there. But just a veteran presence at the end of a bench is not uncommon. And that's the role. That's the role he'll play anywhere, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to go and whatever he buys out, he's not getting $10 million a year. They're going to give him exactly what he's making, $3-4 million a year to be that.
Feel bad for his hips, man. Things are taking a beating. You see that guy run down the court? His hips don't function the way that they should.
Boy. Father Time's undefeated.
Anyways, your weather? It's brought to you by me. Partly cloudy in South Florida, 90 degrees, hot, humid, sticky. That's your weather.